Take two.
Go.
We are about to remove a vanity.
What's going on in here?
This weekend, I am filming in a flight path shop. How hungry are you? I'll take all day. This is potentially the most awkward project ever. I just said jazzed up.
Weekender behind the design 405 Mark AB.
Killed it. So, Kenneth and Regina, it's behind the design, nope. It's Weekender behind the design time, guys. Killed it. And I just spent an amazing weekend with Kenneth and Regina redoing their kitchen and dining room, and it was super fun. So I'm so excited to chat through all of this with you. As always, if you haven't watched the episode yet, this is gonna have some major spoiler alerts, so go watch the episode first and then come back here to get all the details, the who, what, where, when, why about this Weekender design. Let's get started, shall we? Kenneth and Regina applied to be on the Weekender, and they had a big renovation to tackle. If you remember their kitchen beforehand, it was really crazy. I don't know what the builder was thinking when they built this or if someone renovated it, but basically there was a set of cabinets just floating, blocking the kitchen from the dining room.
It's like you're going through a drive-through along the line of, hi, how are you? And yeah, I'm a big guy, so unfortunately, that's not really healthy for my knees.
The builder maybe thought they needed enough storage and there wasn't a place for cabinets, but it was such a weird layout. It made the space feel super, super small. Let's talk about what they loved and what they hated about their space. So they loved two things, and it had nothing to do with their space. They love cooking and entertaining. They actually didn't love anything about their space. They did love the fact that they had a dining room, and the rest of their home, it was like really close to being an open floor plan. We just needed to make one little change, one or two little changes to make it a really awesome open concept. Now, what they disliked about the kitchen, I'm gonna kind of condense this list because the list I got from them was very long. They did not like the closed off layout. They didn't like the feeling of isolation that they had in the kitchen. They didn't like that they had to hand things underneath the cabinets to pass things through to the dining room. They didn't like the flooring, they didn't like the cabinets, and they didn't like the lighting and the paint color and the hardware. So I told you, the list just goes on and on and on. Basically, they wanted everything changed, which is kind of cool because then I can come in and do my thing. Kenneth and Regina both wanted kind of country cool is how they described it. They definitely wanted a little bit of country and they wanted some elements of that, but they wanted it to be done in a cool way. And I was like, oh, okay, pressure's on. I don't know if they know that I'm not super cool, but I could kind of figure out how to do country cool. And they also said that they really liked light grays, whites, and that's my jam. So I was gonna be good to go there. We changed up the flooring in this space, and I get ridiculously excited about peel and stick flooring when we do it in a weird way and in a combination way. Like, I'm almost embarrassed about how excited I get about it, but it's freaking amazing. We took just 18 by 18 gray square tiles, which if I just threw those in a room, it'd be fine. They'd look good, whatever. But combine that with the thin wood grain and surrounded it, it's amazing. People, I'm not even kidding you. I took some cell phone pictures and showed some friends right after I finished the makeover, and they were like, oh my gosh, where'd you order that custom flooring from? And I was like, it's peel and stick flooring. It is not even custom. We just looked at stock items in a different way, and it worked out so fantastically. I love the flooring. I mean, it kind of worked out in our favor that the footprint of their kitchen was really small because it helps when you're doing kitchen and dining room in a weekend. But I almost wish that they had more because I want to see what this looks like in a huge space. So if you do this combination of peel and stick tile in your space, absolutely 100% send me a picture of it because I would love to see it again. So I had a first this weekend, a Weekender first and a life first actually. And that was seeing someone demo a kitchen with their bare hands. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
He's freakishly strong.
Freakishly strong. This is like tool-free demo. He literally takes the cabinets off the wall with his bare hand. I was blown away. But wanna know the funniest thing too? I don't know if he minds me telling you this, but we're friends now, so I think it's okay. He's actually like a surgeon and like works in the medical field with like very small, intricate like details. So the man can demo with his bare hands or like fix an open heart surgery or something. It's kind of my hero. So that was amazing with demo, but then we kind of hit a wall, if you will, literally and figuratively.
So that means we'll probably have to not take the wall down.
This is the complete opposite of what I wanted to find. I had really wanted to open up their wall and give them a super, super open concept layout. So we knew that there was a thermostat in the wall and like a light switch, but we really thought, because of how thin the wall was, that that was all we were dealing with. And that would have been really simple. We could have relocated them low, cut it down to a half wall, and moved on with our plans. But once we cut that wall open, we found out that the builder, that was his favorite wall in the entire world, and he ran just about every wire for that freaking house through that one wall. And it's always, I mean, it's for any homeowner. If you are thinking of taking down a wall, you never know what you're gonna get. You start with a patch, take a look, investigate. I know this, I've done this a million times, and there's always surprises. This one, it's really hard when you're working with a homeowner and you say like, I think we're gonna take the wall down, but don't get your hopes up. Let me just do some investigating. And they're like, yeah, the wall's coming down. And then you're like, okay, so I can't take the wall down. So you just feel so disappointed telling them that.
The reality of having that wall being taken down kind of made my heart break. But then her quick thought process of opening up the wall partially was not the ideal situation, but I think it's still gonna be a great idea in the end.
You guys always ask like, what parts of the design do you change on the fly? So I had already bought all those canisters that had all of their different like flour and sugar and rice and quinoa and all that stuff in it. And I had planned to put it on the opposite side of the room, kind of like if you're standing at the sink to the left side where I just put a shelf. I was gonna put multiple shelves there and put all the canisters. But then once that wall couldn't open up, I was like, okay, Jay, what should we do here? What if we cut them like an opening for a window, but a window in the wall would be kind of weird. So what if we put shelves in there and moved our canisters over? And it totally worked, and it actually kind of gave you a view of the living room without 100% like visibility. I don't know, I think it just worked in the end. And really, when you're doing projects yourself, you just don't ever know what you're gonna find when you're opening up a wall, and you need to 1,000,000% not get your expectations up too high so that you can change them. One really fun surprise that we didn't really get to focus on in the episode, but Regina and Kenneth were pretty jazzed about, was that we picked them up all new appliances at Lowe's. So we got them a new dishwasher, and I didn't know this until I got there, but their dishwasher hadn't worked in 2 years, so they used it as storage. They had actually taken the like rolling cart thingies out and just used it as storage in there. So they were so excited when we got them a new, actually functioning, working dishwasher. When you're doing a kitchen makeover, make sure you leave room in your budget to update your appliances. Having a matching dishwasher and stove and refrigerator really will pull the look together and update the entire space. If you have any questions about this makeover, leave a comment below, and make sure that you're subscribed to the Lowe's YouTube channel. You don't want to miss a single episode of The Weekender or The Weekender Behind the Design. See you next weekend. Good. Feel good about that? All right. That's a wrap, friends.